Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we are continuing to look at the Lord of the Rings figures from Diamond Select Toys. I have to say a huge thank you to Diamond Select Toys for sending these over. It's very much appreciated. Now in this particular video we are going to look at the NAZGUL. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. But it's a very cool looking figure which would fit into a lot of different displays for different reasons. If you're a horror collector, then this would probably fit into a horror collection as well. But you couldn't have a Lord of the Rings set up without at least having one of these characters. Now you could get a couple more which would look quite cool. He comes with a handful of different pieces. So this is the sword for Sauron, and you've also got Sauron's kind of skirt, tunicky, kind of lower torso piece as well. And then of course you have the Nazgul figure. That's a peculiar one because there isn't a lot to the figure in itself. There isn't a lot to the character, is there? Like there's nothing there. It's essentially robes and hands. But the sculpting is really nice on it, and the sculpting is really good on it, and it works. It looks really good. It looks exactly like it did in the film. It's very wavy. There's like, you know, these sleeve kind of cuff pieces are very long. Now similar to the Gandalf figure, because the sleeves are sculpted. Here's the two swords. So this is the Nazgul sword, and then the other sword is Sauron's sword. But similar to the Gandalf figure, because these cuffs are sculpted, they're kind of made to have the hands down. So if you have them in any kind of angled position, so even just by putting them up a little bit like this, like I've got them, they look a little bit odd, and I think that's the only drawback with the level of sculpting that goes into these figures. I've said this before, I'll say it again, the Diamond Select figures don't have a huge amount of articulation, but they have some really awesome sculpting and details. So in order to have this figure look natural, you're going to have the arms down, which is a shame, I suppose. You can't have him in any kind of striking position or fighting position, but it's the Nazgul at the end of the day, so having him just kind of stood there with his arms kind of down and the sleeves kind of hanging isn't, you know, it's not the end of the world at the end of the day. I just want to get this sword into position, and because the cuffs have got kind of a big droop, it's a little bit awkward to get this sword in, but I'll get it. I will get it. Now you can twist the hands round a little bit, so it does give you a little bit of flexibility when it comes to positioning the sword. So it's just a case of having to play, to be perfectly honest with you. But if you're a Lord of the Rings fan and you're collecting this series of figures, then this particular one is obviously going to be a must-have. I think it's one of them kind of iconic characters in the films and the books. I think even the kind of casual fans of Lord of the Rings will recognise this as a character from the franchise. So to have a Lord of the Rings setup, a kind of, you know, I'd want to have a Nazgul, maybe even get kind of a couple of them to kind of stand at the back or something like that. But he looks quite cool. As I said, there isn't really much to discuss because there is no kind of facial sculpting, there's nothing in there, it is literally just the hood. But what I will say is, even though there isn't a headpiece in there, the sculpting of the hood does look like there is. It looks like it's sitting on a head, so it's, you know, it's very well put together. The Build-A-Figure, Sauron Build-A-Figure, this is obviously his sword and knife and his tunic piece as well. So I'm going to take a look at the Build-A-Figure in a whole separate video. Now if you do check out my channel, I've taken a look at as many of these figures as I could get my hands on, so pretty much the entire set of Lord of the Rings figures from Diamond Select Toys, I believe. I don't think I'm missing any as of the time of recording. But yeah, he's pretty cool. This is, I mean, he's not one of my favourites because there isn't a huge amount to talk about, but he's definitely not the worst figure I've ever seen at all, and he's going to look quite good in display. I think in an ideal world I would have liked to have seen him on a horse or something like that, but there is no way I'd be able to do that with this sculpted kind of cape. Here are the rest of the figures, all in a kind of big setup. I haven't kind of put these into any particular in any particular order, just put them all together so that you can see them, and as you can see, they do look really cool. Check out my channel because I'm taking a look at each one of them individually in a 5-minute figure review, and of course do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All supports the channel is very much appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon.